Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to English as a Second Language. I'm David, and it's always such a joy to have you here with me. I love starting my week by sitting down and talking with all of you about topics that can really change your life. And today, oh man, today we have something special. We're continuing our career series, and I'm absolutely excited about today's topic because I know this is something many of you have been thinking about. We're talking about top remote jobs you can start with just English skills. Now, I know what some of you might be wondering. David, can I really get a good job working from home just because I speak English well? The answer is absolutely yes, and I'm going to show you exactly how today. And here's something new. At the end of our episode, my good friend Tom is going to join us to review some really useful vocabulary from today's discussion. Tom has this amazing way of breaking down words that makes them stick in your mind. So definitely stay around for that part. But first, let me tell you about something that happened just last week that perfectly shows you why this topic is so important right now. I was at a coffee shop and I overheard a conversation between two people at the table next to me. One woman, let's call her Lisa, was telling her friend about how she had just gotten a job working as a virtual assistant for a company in Australia. Lisa lives here in the United States, but she's working for this Australian company and she's doing it all from her home office. What caught my attention was when Lisa said, the main reason I got this job was because of my English skills. They needed someone who could communicate clearly with their English-speaking clients. And that's exactly what I could offer. Her friend was amazed. Wait, you mean you got hired just because you speak English well? And Lisa replied, well, not just that, but my English skills opened the door. Once I got the interview, I showed them I was reliable, organized, and eager to learn. But yes, my English was the key that got me in. This conversation stuck with me because it's happening everywhere, every single day. Companies around the world need English speakers, and thanks to technology, they don't care where you live. They care about what you can do. The remote work revolution has created incredible opportunities for people who speak English well. And the best part, many of these jobs don't require years of specialized training or expensive degrees. They just require good English skills, a reliable internet connection, and the willingness to work hard. So let's dive into some of the best remote jobs. You can start with primarily English skills, and I'll tell you exactly what each job involves and how you can get started. Let's start with one of the most popular and accessible remote jobs, virtual assistant work. A virtual assistant, or VA as people often call it, is someone who provides administrative support to businesses or entrepreneurs from a remote location. Think of it as being a personal assistant, but instead of working in an office, you work from wherever you want. What does a virtual assistant actually do? Well, the tasks can vary quite a bit, but common responsibilities include managing email accounts, scheduling appointments, doing research, handling customer service inquiries, managing social media accounts, and organizing digital files. Some VAs also help with basic bookkeeping, travel planning, or even personal tasks for busy executives. The reason this job is perfect for English speakers is that most of your work involves communication. You're writing emails, talking to clients, creating documents, and representing your employer in various situations. Clear professional English is absolutely essential. I know someone named Carlos who started working as a VA about 2 years ago. Carlos is from Mexico, and while his English was good, he wasn't completely confident in it, but he started with simple tasks like data entry and email management. As his English improved and he gained experience, he began taking on more complex responsibilities. Now he manages social media accounts for 3 different companies and earns more money than he ever did in his previous office job. The great thing about VA work is that you can start small and grow. Many people begin by working just a few hours a week for one client, then gradually build up to full-time work with multiple clients. Another fantastic remote job opportunity is online tutoring and teaching. Now, you might think, but David, I'm not a teacher. Here's the thing, you don't need to be a certified teacher to teach English online. There are platforms where native and fluent English speakers can teach conversational English to students around the world. These platforms connect you with students who want to practice their English conversation skills. Your job is to have natural conversations with them, help them with pronunciation, and give them confidence in speaking English. Some platforms provide lesson plans and materials, so you don't have to create everything from scratch. What makes this job perfect for English speakers is that your main qualification is your ability to communicate naturally in English. Students want to learn from people who can help them sound more natural and confident. Karata kon. I met a woman named Jennifer who started teaching English online as a side job while she was working full-time in retail. She quickly discovered that she loved helping people improve their English, and she was good at it. Within 6 months, she was earning enough from online teaching to quit her retail job and teach full-time from home. Jennifer now works with students from Japan, Brazil, and Spain, and she absolutely loves the flexibility and the international connections she's made. The beauty of online teaching is that you can often set your own schedule. Some teachers work early in the morning to accommodate students in different time zones, while others prefer evening hours. You can usually choose how many hours you want to work each week. Let's talk about customer service representative positions. Many companies now hire remote customer service representatives to handle phone calls, live chats, and email inquiries from customers. This job requires excellent communication skills, patience, and the ability to solve problems quickly. As a remote customer service representative, you might help customers with product questions, process returns or exchanges, troubleshoot technical issues, or handle billing inquiries. The key is being able to listen carefully to customer concerns and provide clear, helpful solutions. This job is ideal for English speakers because customer service is all about communication. You need to be able to understand what customers are saying even when they're frustrated or upset, and respond in a way that's helpful and professional. My friend Rachel worked as a remote customer service representative for an online clothing company. She told me that while the job could sometimes be challenging, dealing with unhappy customers isn't always fun, she really enjoyed helping people solve their problems. Rachel said that her English skills were definitely her biggest asset in this role, and she learned so much about business and problem solving. Many customer service positions offer good benefits and opportunities for advancement. Some people start in basic customer service roles and then move up to supervisory positions or specialize in areas like technical support. Another growing field is content creation and social media management. Businesses of all sizes need help creating content for their websites, blogs, and social media accounts. If you're comfortable writing in English and you understand how social media works, this could be a perfect fit for you. Content creation can include writing blog posts, creating social media captions, developing email newsletters, or even writing product descriptions for online stores. Social media management involves posting content, responding to comments and messages, and helping businesses build their online presence. What's great about this field is that it combines creativity with communication skills. You're not just writing, you're thinking about how to connect with audiences, how to make content engaging, and how to represent a brand's voice consistently. I know a guy named Ahmed who started doing social media management for small local businesses in his city. He began by offering his services to restaurants and shops that needed help with their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Ahmed's English skills helped him create engaging posts and respond to customer comments professionally. As word spread about his good work, more businesses started hiring him. Now he manages social media for over a dozen companies and has built a really successful freelance business. The wonderful thing about content creation and social media management is that you can build a portfolio of your work. Every post you create, every blog article you write becomes an example you can show to potential clients or employers. Let's discuss online research and data analysis. Many companies need people to gather information, conduct market research, analyze trends, or compile reports. This type of work requires attention to detail, good organizational skills, and the ability to present findings clearly in English. Research work might involve finding contact information for potential customers, researching competitors, gathering information about industry trends, or analyzing customer feedback. Data analysis could include organizing survey results, creating summaries of sales data, or identifying patterns in customer behavior. These jobs are perfect for English speakers because most of your work involves reading, analyzing, and writing reports in English. You need to be able to understand complex information and then explain it clearly to others. I worked with someone named Priya who specialized in market research for technology companies. Priya would spend her days reading industry reports, analyzing competitor websites, and surveying potential customers. Then she would compile all this information into clear, actionable reports for her clients. Her strong English skills allowed her to understand complex technical information and present it in a way that business leaders could easily understand and use. Research and data analysis work often pays well because it requires specialized skills and attention to detail. It's also the kind of work that can lead to consulting opportunities as you build expertise in specific industries. Another excellent remote opportunity is working as a transcriptionist. Transcriptionists listen to audio recordings and type out exactly what they hear. This might include transcribing interviews, medical recordings, legal proceedings, or business meetings. This job requires excellent listening skills, fast and accurate typing, and strong English grammar and spelling abilities. You need to be able to understand different accents and speaking styles, and you need to be very detail-oriented because accuracy is crucial. What makes transcription perfect for English speakers is that your main tool is your understanding of the English language. You're not just typing what you hear, you're interpreting speech, understanding context, and making sure the final transcript is clear and accurate. My neighbor Susan works as a medical transcriptionist. She listens to recordings of doctors dictating patient notes and types them into proper medical reports. Susan told me that while it took some time to learn medical terminology, her strong English foundation made it possible for her to succeed in this specialized field. She now earns a good income working from home and has the flexibility to set her own hours. Transcription work can be a great starting point for people who want to work remotely because it doesn't require previous experience, just good English skills and the ability to type accurately. Now, let me talk about something that's becoming increasingly important in all of these remote jobs: the ability to work independently and manage your time effectively. When you work remotely, you don't have a supervisor looking over your shoulder all day. You need to be self-motivated, organized, and disciplined. This is actually where many English learners have an advantage. Learning a language requires discipline, persistence, and the ability to work independently. If you've successfully learned English, you already have many of the personal qualities that make remote workers successful. Remote work also requires good communication skills, which is obviously where English speakers shine. You need to be able to communicate clearly through email, video calls, and instant messaging. You need to ask good questions when you're unsure about something. And you need to provide regular updates on your progress. I want to address something that might be worrying some of you. You might be thinking, David, this all sounds great, but how do I actually find these jobs? Where do I start? The good news is that there are many websites and platforms specifically designed to connect remote workers with employers. Websites like Upwork, Freelancer, and Fiverr allow you to create profiles showcasing your English skills and apply for projects. Other sites like RemoteCo, FlexJobs, and We Work Remotely list full-time and part-time. For teaching English online, platforms like Preply, italki, and Cambly make it easy to start tutoring without previous teaching experience. For virtual assistant work, sites like Belay, Time, etc., and Fancy Hands hire VAs regularly. The key is to start somewhere and build your experience. Many successful remote workers began with small projects or part-time positions and gradually built up to full-time remote careers. Let me also mention something important about building your online presence. When you're looking for remote work, your online profile becomes your resume. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is complete and professional. Consider creating a simple website or portfolio showcasing your English skills and any relevant experience you have. Don't worry if you don't have a lot of professional experience yet. Focus on highlighting your English abilities, any volunteer work you've done, and personal projects that demonstrate your skills. The fact that you're learning English shows determination and international perspective. These are valuable qualities that many employers appreciate. I also want to talk about the importance of continuous learning. The remote work landscape is constantly evolving, and the most successful remote workers are those who keep learning new skills. This might mean learning new software programs, understanding social media trends, or developing specialized knowledge in your field. The beautiful thing is that most of this learning can be done online, often for free. Websites like Coursera, Khan Academy, and YouTube offer courses on everything from Excel skills to digital marketing. Your English skills give you access to a vast world of online learning resources. Remember, remote work isn't just about finding a job, it's about building a career. Many remote workers eventually become freelancers or start their own businesses. The skills you develop working remotely, self-discipline, communication, time management, and technical abilities are valuable in any career path. The one thing I really want to emphasize is that remote work can be incredibly rewarding, but it's not always easy. Working from home requires discipline and can sometimes be lonely. You need to create a good workspace, establish routines, and find ways to stay motivated. But for many people, especially those who speak English as a second language, remote work offers opportunities that simply wouldn't be available in their local job market. It allows you to work for companies anywhere in the world, to earn international wages, and to build global professional networks. I think about all the people I've met who have transformed their lives through remote work. There's Maria, who went from working in a local restaurant to managing social media for American companies. There's Tom, who started as a part-time virtual assistant and now runs his own VA agency. There's Lisa, who began teaching English online as a side job and now travels the world while teaching full-time. These aren't extraordinary people with special talents. They're regular people who recognize that their English skills could open doors to remote work opportunities, and they were willing to put in the effort to make it happen. Before I wrap up the main part of our discussion, let me give you some practical steps you can take this week if you're interested in exploring remote work opportunities. First, assess your current English skills honestly. Are you comfortable writing professional emails? Can you have clear conversations over video calls? Can you understand different English accents? These skills are fundamental for most remote work. Second, choose one type of remote work that interests you most and research it thoroughly. Look at job postings to understand what employers are looking for. Check out the platforms where this type of work is commonly found. Third, create or update your online profiles. Make sure your LinkedIn profile highlights your English skills and any relevant experience. Consider creating profiles on freelance platforms, even if you're not ready to apply for jobs yet. Fourth, start building skills that complement your English abilities. This might mean learning basic computer skills, understanding social media platforms, or familiarizing yourself with common business software. Finally, connect with other remote workers online. There are Facebook groups, Reddit communities, and LinkedIn groups where remote workers share advice and job opportunities. Learning from others who have made the transition to remote work can be incredibly valuable. Now, before we finish up today, I want to hand things over to my friend Tom, who's going to review some of the key vocabulary we've discussed. Tom has this great way of making words stick in your mind, so definitely pay attention to this part. Take care, everyone.
Hey everyone, Tom here. David asked me to help you remember some important words from today's discussion, and I'm excited to do that with you. You know, when we talk about remote work, there's one word that keeps coming up: remote. Now, remote means far away or distant from a main location. When we say remote work, we're talking about working from a location that's far from the company's main office. Let me give you an example. Sarah got a remote job with a company in New York, but she works from her home in California. Now, let's say that together, Sarah got a remote job with a company in New York, but she works from her home in California. One more time. Sarah got a remote job with a company in New York, but she works from her home in California. Great. Now, speaking of remote work, we often talk about being flexible. Flexible means able to change or adapt easily to different situations. In work, it often refers to having the freedom to choose when, where, or how you work. Here's an example. My job is very flexible. I can work from home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's practice that. My job is very flexible. I can work from home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, my job is very flexible. I can work from home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Perfect. Another word that's super important is client. A client is a person or company that pays for services from a professional person or organization. It's basically a customer, but we use client more in professional settings. For example, as a virtual assistant, I help 3 different clients manage their email accounts. Let's say it together. As a virtual assistant, I help 3 different clients manage their email accounts. It's more, as a virtual assistant, I help 3 different clients manage their email accounts. Excellent. Here's a word that many people find interesting: freelancer. A freelancer is someone who works independently for different companies rather than being employed by just one company. Think of it like being your own boss and choosing your projects. Here's an example. After losing his office job, Mark became a freelancer and now writes articles for 5 different magazines. Ready? After losing his office job, Mark became a freelancer and now writes articles for 5 different magazines. One more time. After losing his office job, Mark became a freelancer and now writes articles for 5 different magazines. Wonderful. Finally, let's talk about networking. Networking means building professional relationships and connections that can help your career. It's not just about knowing people, it's about creating mutually beneficial professional relationships. For example, through networking at online events, Jennifer found 3 new clients for her social media business. Let's practice. Through networking at online events, Jennifer found 3 new clients for her social media business. And again, through networking at online events, Jennifer found 3 new clients for her social media business. Fantastic. Those are 5 really important words for anyone thinking about remote work. Practice using them in your own sentences this week.
Thanks so much, Tom. Those vocabulary explanations were perfect as always. All right, everyone, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. The world of remote work is full of opportunities for English speakers, and those opportunities are only growing. Whether you're looking for a complete career change or just want to earn some extra income, there are options out there for you. Remember, you don't need to be perfect to get started. You just need to be willing to learn, to work hard, and to take that first step. Every expert was once a beginner, and every successful remote worker started with their first project or their first client. Your English skills are valuable, more valuable than you might realize. In a global economy where businesses need to communicate across borders and time zones, people who can communicate clearly and professionally in English are in high demand. So take some time this week to explore the opportunities we've discussed today. Do some research, update your online profiles, and maybe even apply for a small project or part-time position. You might be surprised at what doors your English skills can open. Thank you so much for joining Tom and me today on English as a Second Language. I'm David, and it's been my absolute pleasure to talk with you about these exciting career possibilities. Keep practicing your English, keep believing in yourself, and remember that every conversation, every email, every interaction is making you more prepared for the remote work opportunities that are out there waiting for you. Folks, I'll be back next week with another episode in our career series. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep dreaming big.